places where reality feels thinner, places where something ancient presses against the edges of our world. Most people never notice it, but some places were built around it, protected from it, or perhaps imprisoning it. For centuries, the Isle of Man has carried stories of the Moddey Dhoo, the black dog, of a creature feared by soldiers, whispered about by locals, and buried deep within Manx folklore. But after everything I have seen, I no longer believe the Moddey Dhoo was ever a ghost. I think it was guarding something. Ever since the incident beneath Skinwalker Ranch, the scar across my shoulder reacts near places touched by rift activity, burning heat, sudden pain, sometimes a faint red glow beneath the skin. The Foundation calls it nerve damage. I know better. The Dogmen could have killed me that night. They chose not to. The Foundation contacted me after reports of strange disturbances around Peel Castle. Visitors hearing growls beneath the stone floors, electrical failures, animals refusing to enter certain parts of the ruins, staff reporting shadow figures moving through corridors after dark. The moment I arrived on St. Patrick's Isle, the scars started burning, not mildly, violently, like something beneath the castle already knew I was there. During the day, Peel Castle almost looks peaceful. Ancient walls surrounded by sea and salt air. Tourists wandering through ruined halls where kings, soldiers, and monks once walked. But once darkness falls, the place changes. The sea grows louder. The wind moves strangely through the stone corridors. Shadows seem deeper there than they should be. And people avoid the old passage, the same corridor connected to the original Moddey Dhoo legend. According to the old records, soldiers stationed inside the castle centuries ago claimed a huge black dog appeared nightly from the darkness beneath the fortress. It would enter the guardroom silently and lie beside the fire while the men sat frozen in fear. No one touched it. No one challenged it, because everyone who saw the creature believed the same thing. It was not a normal animal. One drunken guard eventually mocked the stories and walked the corridor alone at night. Moments later, the soldiers heard screaming echo through the castle. The guard returned pale, shaking violently, barely able to speak. 3 days later, he was dead. Most people dismiss the story as folklore. I don't, because the deeper I explored Peel Castle, the stranger the place became. Ancient corridors twisted beneath the fortress like veins. Some sections looked older than the castle itself. Hidden tunnels sealed behind collapsed stone. Strange markings carved into walls beneath layers of age and repair. Claw symbols, the exact same symbols discovered beneath Skinwalker Ranch. That should have been impossible. Thousands of miles apart, yet somehow connected. Then came the whispers. At first I thought it was wind moving through the tunnels beneath the castle, but the sounds became clearer the deeper I descended. Not words, breathing, low growling somewhere below me in the darkness. My torch began flickering, the scar burned hotter, and suddenly the entire castle went silent. No wind, no sea, nothing. That was when I realized something was moving ahead of me. Large, slow, watching. At first, I only saw the eyes. 2 deep red shapes glowing inside the darkness beneath the corridor arch. Then, the creature stepped forward. The Moddey Dhoo, not a ghost, not an animal, something older. It stood nearly 7 feet tall at the shoulder. Black fur hanging like wet shadow, massive claws scraping silently across ancient stone. Its eyes fixed directly onto me without blinking. Every instinct in my body screamed at me to run. but I couldn't move. Because the creature recognized me, I could feel it. The scar burned beneath my jacket as the Moddey Dhoo slowly circled me inside the corridor, studying me, testing me. And that was when I understood the truth. The Dogmen were never monsters. They were guardians, living sentinels created through prolonged rift exposure long ago, protectors standing between our world and whatever exists beyond the breach. The Moddey Dhoo was one of them, one of the oldest still remaining. The creature stopped directly in front of me, close enough for me to hear its breathing, close enough to see intelligence behind its eyes. Then something impossible happened. The Moddey Dhoo lowered its head slightly, not aggression, recognition, almost respect. And in that moment, I realized something horrifying. The creatures beneath Skinwalker Ranch did not spare me accidentally. They knew me. Somehow the rift had marked me after the attack. The scar was not just an injury, it was a connection. Suddenly, the corridor walls began vibrating violently. Dust fell from the ceiling stones. A deep sound echoed upward from somewhere far beneath the castle. The rift. Something below us was waking up. The Moddey Dhoo turned instantly toward the darkness deeper inside the tunnel. Its posture changed immediately, no longer watching me, guarding. Then I heard movement below. Not one sound, many. Something moving beneath Peel Castle, something large. The scar burned hotter than ever before as faint red light spread beneath my skin. And then I remembered something Kef once told me during another Isle of Man investigation. The room below the room. At the time it sounded meaningless. Now I finally understood. There was something beneath Peel Castle, something ancient enough that entire fortresses had been built above it, not to protect people from the outside, but to contain whatever was beneath. The Moddey Dhoo looked back toward me one final time. Then the voice came, not spoken aloud. Inside my head, one sentence. The door is weakening. Then the creature disappeared into the darkness below the castle. The sea returned instantly. Wind rushed once more through the corridors. The silence was broken, but the scar continued burning. I left Peel Castle before sunrise. The Foundation tried questioning me afterward, asking what I saw beneath the fortress, asking whether I encountered the entity. Entity, not legend, not animal. Entity. That told me everything I needed to know. The Foundation already knew the Moddey Dhoo existed, and somehow they knew exactly what it was guarding. Hours later, while driving across the island, the scar suddenly burned again. I looked into the rearview mirror. Standing motionless in the center of the empty road behind me was the Moddey Dhoo, watching, following, waiting. This has been Adam Mercer, and this was the Black File on the Moddey Dhoo.